Well, good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope that you all had a good day of trucking today. Got a special treat for you tonight on the Truckers Roundtable. We're going to be going live and to a remote location in Minnesota. They're having a Touch a Truck event there. And we're going to be talking to Scott Post, and he's going to kind of give us a tour around what's going on with the Touch a Truck. He's going to show you some of the stuff that's going on there. But anyway, before we get into that, I would like to tell you that I hope you had a great day of trucking, and I would appreciate it if you would call the show. And if you got any questions, comments, or anything like that, my buddy Steve Brand, he's going to be joining me hopefully later on in the show. He's running a little bit behind tonight. But anyway, we're going to go with it. And I'm going to bring Scott Post in here, and we're going to talk a little bit about what he's doing out there in Minnesota today. So right now, without further ado, I'm bringing Scott Post in here.
Good evening, Tim. Glad to see you here.
Hey,
And
Scott.
we're at a Touch a Truck event with a bunch of trucks, and the kids are getting up in them and honking the horns and having hot dogs and ice cream cones and a great time.
Well, that's great, man. I'm so glad. It's pretty cool that you can come in and do this on a remote location here. So, Scott, tell us a little bit about what's going on out there, what you've done today, and kind of walk around and give us a little bit of view of what's happening.
Okay, over here, you can see there's a Homeland Security mobile unit at Command Center. Over here, we've got one of their trucks. Somebody's brought in a dump truck here. You can see that. We've got the Sheriff's Department with their boat rescue unit. We got the United States Army here. Got a pipeline truck over here walking around the grounds. White Bear Township vacuum truck. Got the SWAT team vehicle. Got a farm tractor there. Mobile market.
Okay.
Hot dog stand. Here's one of our big units. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, slow down just a little bit, Scott, because you're moving around so fast that we can't really see what you got going on. So kind of slow it down a little bit and show us a little bit about what's going on. Hey, you might even want to go up and interview somebody for us.
Okay. Here's one of the big units we've got. See if I can find somebody. This is one of the dump truck snow plows right here. He's got a wing plow. Then he's got a trailer that offsets with saltwater and road chemical tanks so they can plow 3 lanes at one time with this unit. This dump truck here by itself weighs about 60,000 pounds, and I don't know if the operator would like to say a few words here and tell us about your truck here.
Yeah, what do you need?
Tell us about your truck. We're on Trucker Voices live tonight on Truckers Roundtable.
Well, our truck right now is about 70 feet long, pulling the tow plow on both blades. The trailer wheels can offset so we can plow 2 lanes at once, allowing us to be more efficient and have one truck go somewhere else if we need to. What else do you think, Philip?
We can put down up to 1,000 pounds of salt at once off of one spinner. We can carry about 10 ton of salt or more.
Oh, that's nice. 10 tons, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot. Let me see. I think it's 10 tons, about 10.
10, 15.
On average of a night, you go through about 12 tons of salt. Depends how much snow we have.
Okay, so we never see this down here in Georgia where we're at. So
Okay.
So I appreciate what you guys do, keeping the roads clear and everything like that. So, but we never see that down here in South Georgia.
Yeah, I hope you guys don't either. You might have to give us a call for bail you out.
Absolutely. Well, now we do have some trucks up around the Atlanta area, and but a little bitty Dustin down here will shut us down.
Yeah, that's light work for us.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you guys coming on the Truckers Voices tonight.
Hey, no problem.
Yep. We're broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube, so we're live right now. So we appreciate you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks so much.
Be safe out there.
Have a good day.
Hi, Scott. Where are you taking us to now?
Oh, we're just going by a construction company, low by. There's no equipment on it. We've got a utility truck, the city of White Bear Lake here.
See if you can talk to some of these kids right here that was to your left there. See how they're liking the big trucks.
Okay. Here they're in one of our city loaders. They're blowing the horn on the loader. Maybe I could talk to one of the parents here. We're on Trucker Voices Live. How did your kids like the show today?
We loved it.
Hey, buddy. How you like the truck today? Hey, how you doing? How you like the big trucks? Good. I hear the horn blowing. Yeah. Did you get to blow the horn?
Yeah.
We're hard on some trucks today? Okay.
All right. Well, have a good day.
Great, thank you. So over here we've got a rollback from one of the companies over here. They get a lot of business in the winter time. We got an officer coming through. Yeah.
So Scott, tell me, how many people have you seen today there? How many people have come through and gotten your truck?
Probably about 200 kids climbing in and out, and we've handed out some goodie bags with some water bottles and a keychain, and we've got for another one of my groups I'm in, I promote railroad safety, crossing safety, so we got some keychains that say C-Trax Think Trade. We've got some blinking lights in there, and so they handed those out with the water bottles to the kids, and they really enjoyed it. Here's one of the school buses. I'm going to walk over the Homeland Security for Ramsey County, the Emergency Management Command Center. They agreed that we could walk in and they'd talk to us, if that would be okay.
That's perfect. Yep.
Hang on a second. I just want to give thanks to Nancy here. Oh, here's our barn here. We're just kind of taking things down. This is Anthony, our operations manager.
Anthony,
here's the highway. Safety Sammy, to move over. Henrietta, the highway Holstein, move over and save lives. Got this on the deck plate. My wife Nancy, I want to say thank you. We got to sign a shingle and promise to buckle up and move over. And Henrietta's going to have a new barn roof now. So, the kids signed their names. And we've got a set of doubles here. We're going to walk right across the aisle here to this Homeland Security vehicle and walk inside here.
Okay. Yeah. If you can find somebody to talk to, that'd be great.
Oh, okay.
My grandpa, okay?
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna take this one before we make any more sticky notes.
Oh,
So,
hi.
How are ya?
Hi. This is Tim Taylor, and
hi.
Hi,
How are
ya?
you? Good. How are you?
we're doing good, just winding down. So welcome to our mobile incident command truck.
Yeah.
On this side over here, we have, this is actually on the right is a dispatch. So local law enforcement very often, they can use this as an incident command truck. They can do dispatching out of here. This one can be used as either a computer or we have a floor camera that can see, I don't know officially the distance, but it's far. And then we can set up for hostage, if it's a hostage negotiation system or incident, we can set these guys up back here. We have a full line of 800 UHF, VHF satellite communications. We have internet. We have computers so that they can access whatever resources they need. Like some throw phone and all of that. All of these boards are, they can write on to do their notes, their incident stuff, share with their team. We have mobile radios that we can check out, like if we have a reserve unit or something that's coming to assist, maybe support during traffic or whatever. So we have all of those things back here. And then on the front side, when you go up, Shep can talk about that. But that's usually where we send the SWAT commanders so that they can talk in quiet and peace and plan. So I'll let you head on up that way. Any questions from back here?
No. Well, how long have you been doing this? How long have you been in the law enforcement community?
I'm actually in the emergency management.
Okay.
So we support them. So this truck is our asset, but it's a community asset. So we support, if Maplewood needed it, they could call us. We man it 24/7, 7 days a week, Christmas, doesn't matter. So we support it. We do all the maintenance. We do all of that. So they call us, they need the command. So we'll roll it. We'll set it up. They do their deal. When they're done, they leave. We take it down. We stow it, take care of it completely. So, but we're actually emergency management.
Okay. So, so where would a unit like this typically be set up at?
It depends upon the event, but like, it'll always be outside the hot zone or the danger zone for sure. Because I'm not taking any bullets, thanks. That's, God bless them. We love them. But that's not my job.
Right.
So incident command should always be set close enough, but safely, right? So, depending upon what the situation is. But like in the fair, we've got a place that we set it up and they'll use it to do all their planning. They'll do the shift changes and stuff, and they'll operate out of here. Of course, like I said, we've got full radio and stuff like that. So one of the polar plunges, guy jumped in, broke his leg. So, but we had command out of here. We activated for emergency or ambulance. They came down. We coordinated with the officers on the ice and the divers and all that, and they took care of them and got them out. So we can work together that way. So we can support them. But nope, I did corrections for 30 years. I'm good. I'm good. My dad was a sheriff. I know what it's all about. God bless them all. So that's not my role. So, yeah, but so they don't have to know that. They just have to know what they do. We know what we do. They know what they want, what they need. But they can ask us and say, "Hey, can you guys do this?" So that it makes it better for them. So we can help them that way too. So it's pretty slick.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we appreciate what you do. And I'm in South Georgia, and you're on the Truckers Voices page. We're live on Facebook now and on YouTube. So we do a show every Thursday night, and it's all truck related. So Mr. Scott Post there was so generous to kind of walk around and show us what you guys got going on with all the trucks and everything around there.
It's a fabulous truck, and I love to drive it. So that's about as good as it goes. But it's a big one. So it's fun. I love it. So anyway, I'll let you hit the front and see what. Yeah.
See if they stepped out for a minute.
They will. Well, so typically here, if you just want to show the front, so we can set all these monitors up to whatever. This particular one is showing the cameras that we got, ones in the corner. And then we've got one that's this one is he's lowered it, but we can see like a really long ways, but we can control that from back there. You can set these other side monitors up for whatever you want. If you want to watch the news, if you have an event, you can watch. You can set it up however you need. Let's say if it's a disaster, maybe you want to watch different news channels to see what feed you're getting. The one on the other wall, we typically use for weather because weather affects everything, right? If we need to print maps and stuff, we've got a full-size plotter. If they bring a reserve unit that, we can check out radios that are pre-programmed so we can talk together. UHF, VHF, 800 radio, satellite. So we have pretty much everything. And we work with, and then this table here, it's got network outlets for all the commanders and stuff so they can use this to plan. So pretty much got everything that they could need here. So, yeah. So,
Okay.
any other questions?
Yeah, we actually got a comment on the screen here. It
Okay.
says, "How big is the truck?"
Big fire truck size. And so when you're driving it, it's fire truck size. And then it has bump outs on both of them. So, on the front and the back, it actually technically has a bathroom, but we try not to use it because it's 4 hours to burn it off before you can stow it. And I don't really want to sit around for 4 hours. So
Right.
Roger could actually tell you precisely. But yeah, fire trucks. When we practiced for up north at St. Cloud, we went through a course up there. They use fire trucks, and it's pretty comparable. So
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
but it's a ride to drive. I love it.
Well, that unit there, let's just say, for instance, in a missing person case, would that unit be taken out for somebody that's been missing for a while?
It could be if let's say it was Ramsey County Sheriff who was the key point. They could request us, and maybe they'll bring in some local canine because there's a couple different canine groups here. Plus, they have their own canines. There's a event right now. I think tomorrow. There's a girl that went missing down in Mankato, Minnesota. They've been searching for her. They haven't been able to find her. They're requesting dogs to search for deceased people now. So.
Okay.
So certainly they can do that. So we can support that if that's what they want or what they need. So it's versatile. We can do whatever they need. So
Okay.
we did some training with a search and rescue crew. Their radios were VHF, but we were kind of in hills and valleys, so they were having trouble communicating. We got a 800 channel, and we were able to check them out radios, and then we finished the exercise. And then they were able to communicate through. So we have assets that we can use as needed. So that's kind of slick, right?
Okay.
So, yeah.
So was a unit like this, or this unit one, was it used back during the George Floyd, the riots and stuff like that, to like a command center at that point?
We did not deploy this. We had a lot of that was virtual because of the COVID. And
Yeah.
then we also had a multi-jurisdictional one. So we kind of set it up maybe a little differently we might have. And that was a kind of event. If you think about how that event moved, putting this out was kind of like, where would you put it, right? Because the event was like constantly moving. So
Right.
you got to kind of look at, because you don't want to put your people that are sitting in here at risk. But most of that, I mean, there were many EOCs that were virtual, and then they did have in-person multi-jurisdictional.
Okay.
So So you got to think about the totality of the circumstances. You wouldn't want to put a command post of any sort too close with an expanding incident, right? Because you don't want the incident to overrun your command post. So that was kind of one of the issues, like where do you put your people? Where could you put this? And this would be like, let's face it, if you put it downtown someplace, it kind of stands out.
Yeah.
So given they lost the precinct. So anyway, so things there were other ways, given the pandemic and all of that, that were more well suited for that. Hopefully, we don't have to experience that again, but that was pretty awful. So
Yeah, it was. It was. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I've seen these units. I live in South Georgia, so I'm in South Georgia now, and I've seen these units. We use them around the mall area and concert events and stuff like that.
Perfect. Yep.
So yeah, so very interesting. I've never seen the inside of it before, so it's great.
Yeah. They're awesome. Like I said, they're so versatile. But for running a command for a concert, brilliant. Absolutely, because now things are different kind of targets. The event down in Houston when all those people got injured. Having a safe place to put a command post, even just for things like fire, weather. How you're going to run a weather event. Last night we had terrible weather. Supposed to have more tornado. Well, we already got a tornado watch going. So yeah. So I don't know that I'd put this in the middle of a field in a tornado, but after the aftermath, it's a good thing. Roll it out. Good place to have safe, dry place to run your command post. So
Right.
Yeah.
So does this particular unit have the telescoping camera on it?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
So it's not up right now, but it is on the back end there, and it goes. Again, I can't tell you exactly how far. Roger knows the specifics on that, but yeah,
Okay.
and we can see a long ways. Plus, it has infrared, so
Okay.
we can see at night too. So it's pretty awesome.
Okay. So without giving me your last name, what's your first name?
Kim,
Kim. Well, thank you, Kim, for coming on Truckers Voices tonight. Like I said, we do this. We're on Facebook. If you ever want to check us out, just go
Well, I'll have
type in
to.
Truckers Voices. Yeah.
cool. I'll go check it out. So, but yeah, hey, I'm glad you enjoyed it. So, yeah, we're proud of our truck and the work we do. So, and we like to try to be good partners. So there we are.
Absolutely. Sounds like a
So there
good
you go.
community partner for sure.
Yeah, we try. So thank you.
Have a great night.
Thank you, Kim.
You guys have a great night.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Check later.
Okay, Scott. So where are you taking me now? Oh, I think I lost the feed. All right. Well, I don't know what happened there on Scott's end. He's frozen in time, but that was very, very interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and see what happens with. There he is. Hey, we lost you there for a minute.
Yeah, I had a question about why some of our trailers were one color and some of the other ones were other, and it's just a matter of updating the logos. Things are starting to kind of break up. Looks like we do got some bad weather coming here eventually.
Yeah.
We've got this construction truck here.
So Scott, how long have you been out there today?
We've been out here since about 4 o'clock, and it's a little after 7 o'clock now. Set of doubles, you want to be one of the first ones here if possible, and get in where you need to go. And I'll see if I can get out of the wind here right now, and maybe I can duck in between the trailers right now. And so we've been out here. It's been a great experience because we've been able to get some of the parents to sit up on the truck and they can see what we see. Some of the kids are interested in driving later on. Talked to some people that have driven before themselves or driven smaller trucks, and it's been a great experience all afternoon here.
Right. So what age group kids have you seen come through? Have you seen like K through 12, or tell me the age group that's come through mainly.
Oh, mostly actually preschool and all the way up to probably about 7th or 8th grade today.
Okay. All right. That's great. Let's see right here. Somebody put something. Scott Donaldson said he saw a similar snowplow in action in Fargo, clearing multiple lanes at once, a rare sight for a Georgia fella. So have you ever seen a snowplow clearing multiple lanes?
Somebody tractor drove by. Yep. It's something to watch them go down the road, and you just got to stay behind till they're done doing what they're doing, and they're getting the road cleared out to make things better for us, so we can keep moving in a lot of different kinds of weather. And 2 or 3 lanes. I think this got started on the Ohio Turnpike when they started making it 3 lanes wide, and they wanted something they could plow more at one time, and then it's kind of spread to the other states as they marketed their product.
I got you. All right, so I'm going to throw up some pictures here on the screen so we can talk through these pictures, okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right. So this is just a cover photo of where you're at, White Bear Lake in Minnesota. But the next one, let me add it back to the stream. I'm sorry. The next picture here, this is your truck that you drive every day?
Yes, it is. And then we've got a set of empty drop frame doubles behind it. And we've then a few other trucks in the background there.
So that looks to me like a VNL. Is that a VNL?
Yes, it is. VNL, the cab. And we're over here. Or VNR, excuse me. It's a VNR.
VNR. Okay. So what year model is that?
That's 2022 model.
2022 model. All right. Let me go to the next screen here. So tell me about these little guys here.
Oh, these are some of my truck mascots. One is Urban Smokey. It kind of dear to me. I had one like that when I was a kid. When you're a forest ranger's son, you don't get a teddy bear, you get a Smokey Bear. And so it kind of reminds me of my dad. But we call him Urban Smokey. He's supposed to be Smokey Bear's great nephew, and he kind of watches traffic in the city, reminds kids to buckle up. We've got PR Duck, which was Pittsburgh rookie. FedEx gave that to us when we were out at Nationals in Pittsburgh. And then we've got Francine the Freight Fox. What does the fox say? Buckle up, buckle up. And so when the kids climb in the truck, they can see the seatbelts on there, that the mascots are wearing seatbelts. I think it encourages seatbelt use. And so that's what we've got there. Mascots ride with us, and they're always buckled up if they ride with us.
So the duck, what is the duck now? What's the duck?
That was given to me out in Pittsburgh by FedEx at Nationals. And so I call it PR Duck, Pittsburgh Rookie Duck, because that was my first name out there. And they give ground gives all the new drivers, if they go to Nationals the first time, they give them a big rubber duck like that.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to back up here. So tell me about these kids that's in the truck here.
Okay, they're climbing up in the truck, and they want to honk the horn and look out the windshield and see what it's like. And it's a great opportunity to mom and dad like to take pictures of them, and or grandma and grandpa might be there, and they like to take pictures and see them having a good time and enjoying themselves. And it's just a great thing. And they can sit up a little higher up. They can look around and see what else is going on around the grounds at the same time. And once in a while, we get a few parents up in the seat, and they can look and see where our blind spots are and some of the other things, what it's like for us up behind the wheel of the truck. And I think that helps increase our safety.
All right. So right here, tell me what this sign says. I can't quite read it.
It says to move over, buckle, sign up, promise to buckle up and move over. We've got a Henrietta, the Highway Holstein. She's our cow in the barn. And she says, buckle up and move over. So we've got a little highway here that we made from a mud flap. And she wanted a new barn roof. So we got some name tags on some tag board, and we had everybody sign their first name to put shingles on this roof. So now we've got enough panels that she could get a new roof for her barn now. And everybody pledges to buckle up, and the parents pledge to buckle up and move over, and encourage seatbelt use, and encourage keeping people on the side of the road. We got a model tow truck there. Got a model like a highway crew dump truck and a backhoe working, a fire truck, an ambulance, a police car, and we got Safety Sammy there in the left lane moving over, and move over or slow down and give these people some room to work and keep them safe.
Yeah, Scott. So that is a very important message that we need to reiterate to the motoring public, not only to commercial truck drivers, but also to what we refer to as four-wheelers. And they really do need to move over when there is an emergency vehicle on the side of the road. A police officer may be performing a traffic stop. We really need to try to move over as much as we can. And also in construction zones, we need to be aware of the construction zones and slow down and move over there also. It's just a good message that I can just reiterate and get behind that, will help save lives, because, somebody's on the side of the road doing their job, working, trying to do their job, trying to get home to their family. There's mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles. They're all out there doing their job, trying to get home to family. So it's a great message. And I thoroughly appreciate, what you're doing here. And if I can see this right, this is on the deck plate of your truck, right?
Yes. For safety purposes, kids like to push buttons and everything in the truck once in a while. So I had hook my hoses and hang them up. So then the trailer brakes are locked. If they push the wrong button in the truck, nothing's going to roll away. And so that leaves a big wide open space. We could throw some artificial turf down and have a pasture and a barn. And Henrietta, the highway Holstein, could she could give her message to everybody. And I also take this one step further about moving over. I run the city route here at night a lot, and you even see some car on the side shoulder of the road and the lights are off. Don't take that for granted that nobody's around. There's so many people that may be kneeling down to change a tire in dark clothing and not wearing a safety vest, or pouring gasoline in a car. They ran out of gas. So you always need to be ready to move over for any vehicle on the shoulder. You just don't want that on your conscience to that you've hit or injured somebody or worse. And so we try to put that safety message out there at the same time, as well as moving over for all these other vehicles that are trying to work and do their jobs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, who is this right here in this picture?
That's Nancy, my wife, and she's handing out some the goodie bags we handed out to the kids. Ground was good enough to give us some water bottles, and we've got some keychains, some blinking lights that we put in there, and a couple other items. And so just give the kids good public relations and help them remember the messages and safety messages we gave them today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we definitely appreciate what you do here. I got a message from David Young here. David says, great message, Scott.
Thank you, David. Appreciate it.
So if anybody wants to call in and talk to us, feel free to call, ask Scott, any questions you want to. The number is 229-740-0912. We'd be glad for you to call in. I'd appreciate it if somebody would call in to kind of help the conversation, move along here. I'm waiting on Steve Brand. I'm hoping that he's going to pop in here before the end of the show. But Scott, let's take a little bit of a break here. Do you have time to get into something that's going on with the FMCSA here?
Oh, definitely. We'd be glad to do that. And
Okay.
throw in some comments if you want. Definitely. We're very interested in that.
Well, let me show you this video first, and then we'll come back on the other side of it, and we'll talk a little bit about this, okay?
Thank you, Tim.
How many of you are unhappy with having a speed limiter on your semi-truck? Because honestly, the FMCSA, they are going to go through with this, and they're giving the public 30 days to comment down below. And of course, no one's going to see this link, but you're not going to get me on that. Here's this link down below, and if you're not okay with this, or if you want to put in your expressions, your opinions of how you feel, definitely comment, because more people commenting, the more it helps. Because if you don't, leave it up to them. Next thing you know, we're going to have a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit and see how that goes for you. Hey, it's Alex Maya with Mother Trucker News. On April 27th, the FMCSA said that they're going to move forward with putting speed limiters on all semi-trucks, gross weight over 26,001 pounds that have ECUs in them. So basically, this is a way people say to push out owner-operators, right? Everybody was extremely upset about this and said, look, this is unsafe, and why are they doing this? But look, FMCSA is extremely sneaky. Why? Because they say, look here, we're going to let the public can dictate this, and we're only giving 30 days on it. So basically, till June 3rd, this link right here will be available. Make sure to comment and let people know exactly how you feel about the speed limiter and what the speed limit should be. Should it be limited at 80 miles an hour? Should it be limited at 75 miles an hour? What should it be? I think four-wheelers should be limited as well if that's what's going to be, because at the end of the day, you know, you could get into an accident going fast and you could get into an accident going slow. So for me, this is just a lot of BS and a lot of smoke and mirrors and just a lot of red tape. But at the end of the day, if you want to put your voice to it and you feel that you don't like what they're saying and you want to put your comments down below, you have 30 days to do so to the FMCSA. Here's the link for that. So Mother Truckers, comment down below, but for the most part, definitely do your part, because no one's going to see this. 30 days is going to pass, and then at the end of this, they're just going to do what they want to do. And do you want to be limited at 50 miles an hour? I'm just saying, you know, put in your comments down below.
All right, Scott. So what do you think about that?
It's interesting because last night we had a safety council meeting for the Minnesota Trucking Association. We have a monthly dinner, and we had one of the head commercial vehicle inspectors getting us ready for a road check next week. And he was just saying that, well, speed limiters, that doesn't prevent, he says, which is worse, a guy going 75 miles an hour in a 70 or doing 53 in a 30? The speed limiters don't stop somebody from speeding in a construction zone or your city streets. So, and that's where you might want to be the most dangerous. And so he says, I'm not in favor of an 80 mile an hour truck, but he says, I just wonder if it's really worth doing that. Most everybody's a responsible operator, and most of these trucks are governed, and that they can be operated responsibly enough already.
Absolutely. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. We have all kind of safety measures on our trucks this day and time. I do believe that speed limiters would make a rolling blockade. But let's take it a little deeper than that. Let's think about, you know, we are already having a problem with, you know, shippers and, you know, receivers unloading and loading trucks. So it's going to take that much longer to get to the shipper and the receiver, and retention time, you know, so it's just going to be a rolling blockade. It's really going to, you know, we talk about a supply chain shortage now. It's really going to affect that even more.
Oh, definitely. And it would change things. And I also think, you know, maybe some of the states, they want the freedom to set their own speed limits. I know some companies, you and I don't like to govern this top speed on their trucks, but maybe some sort of I call it a geofence. Maybe when you're out on the open road, some of these western states, it might be safe to be able to go a little faster than where it is in suburban areas. But a lot of it, the most important speed control is the person behind the wheel with their foot.
Right. And, you know, I drive a governed truck myself every day. And I think that sometimes, you know, when I get out to pass somebody that might be half a mile an hour slower than I am, it takes me a while to get around that person. And I know that some of the trucks that, you know, can really go on around me, they don't want to get out in the third lane, but I'm trying my best to get out of their way. But, you know, if I could have, you know, just a little bit more pedal, I think I could make it for a safer situation to get on around that next truck, you know, and overtake that truck that I'm trying to pass.
Well, exactly. You've got situations too where maybe I've got brand new tires and you don't, so I can go a little faster than you. But I don't like to block the roadway. So I think long and hard, because up here, well, we call it kind of the North Woods. We've got it when you get out of the city, or a lot of our interstates are only 2 lanes wide. So if you get out there, speed limit 70, you're covered at 65, you're creating a bad PR. chances are you might get called in because you're going to be in a tortoise race and for 10 miles and blocking everybody up, and that doesn't set well with the general public. But if somebody wants to go by me, I'll just do the courtesy of just slowing down a little bit, let them get by, so we can open up that left lane and people can go the speed limit that they're allowed to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that's myself. If someone's going around me and I know that they're, a little faster than me, I don't mind tapping the brakes and let them get on by. And then I'll pick my speed back up and, create a good following distance and everything's fine. But, you got those drivers out there that just want to race you doorpost to doorpost, but, I'd rather, somebody like that, I'd rather have them in my front view so I can see what's going on. So I just let them go on.
Definitely. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And,
go ahead.
Some of these guys got faster trucks. They want to run the speed limit. Like some nights, we got a lot of cattle haulers up here going over towards Green Bay or south of Wisconsin or going south the stockyards down in Rochester, Minnesota, and so they're want to drive closer to the speed limit. They want to get those animals delivered before they sweat off too much weight, keep some cool air blowing over them, and so they may want to go a little faster too. And so there's something to consider about that. And sometimes also with perishable goods, maybe they want to run closer to the speed limit when it's safe to do so.
Absolutely. Got a good question up here on the screen. I don't know if you can read it or not, but it says depending on what they decide the speed limit is, are they going to revisit the hours of service again? That's from David Young. And I would certainly think that they would have to do something because, I know you and my company, I never call my company's name on here, but some of our runs are set up for a certain amount of miles because we can only reach it with the mile an hour that we have now, and if they reduce that or whatever, that will really inhibit some of the runs, the relay runs that we have.
Exactly. A lot of work has gone into putting terminals in strategic places so they could be reached, and with the hours of service that we do have, and that's a lot of money spent on these terminals. And now we're going to have to put them. Would we have to put them closer together? You really can't put a team in a truck just for an extra couple hours or something like that. It really, there's some efficiency issues here when we talk about this for sure.
Right. When you have a 65 mile an hour truck, to run something, let's say 620 miles a day on a turn, and that's barring no problems at all. It takes all day to do that right there in a 65 mile an hour truck. So I just don't see the benefit of speed limiters. And do you know the reason they're bringing this back up now?
I think what they said last night, at least for Minnesota, that from 2020 to 2021, the amount of deaths where trucks were involved, commercial vehicles, went from about 58 to 75. So they're concerned about that. So then, like I say, some think that the best way to do this is to slow the trucks down. And that's not, I guess it goes to public relations and education that, what is the root cause of a lot of these fatalities and what's really going on here that's causing this to happen. Right.
Well, I know that me personally, I don't, let's see what, I had another one pop up here. Let's see what Scott done. Hopefully the speed limiters debate will be tabled again and completely unnecessary. And I agree with Scott Donaldson on that. So hopefully it will be tabled again, and won't be brought back up for a long time. I think that there's been, I'm not sure how many comments have been in already commented on the comment period. I thought I heard something about there's over 8,000 something comments already, but I'm not certain. But there is a website you can go to if you want to comment on it. I wish I had it. I would post it on here. I should have posted it on here. But anyway, you can comment on it and put your input on it if you want to. But I have a feeling that most of the comments are probably against the speed limiters.
I would tend to agree with you. I think that would be that.
Absolutely. So speaking of speed limiters, what is your truck governed at?
We're governed at 65, and then we've got the cameras, internal, external. We are allowed to coast 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, as long as we're not over the governed speed. We're allowed to coast 5 miles an hour, as long as we're not exceeding the speed limit on the road. So if I'm going down to, for instance, Boston, Wisconsin, halfway to Chicago, and I come down a hill and I hit 70 miles an hour, speed limit 70, that's okay. But if I'm going 71, I'm going to get called out on it, and rightly so. They want the trucks at a reasonable speed, and so that's the rules that we have, and that's the rules we follow.
Right. So when you say coasting, I mean, it's just like going down a hill. And does if you go over 70, does your truck throw up a warning that you're over 70 or something?
Well, my camera reads speed limit signs, and it actually shows up on the screen on the dashboard on these trucks. And it's not a perfect situation. Sometimes it reads the minimum speed limit, or it reads the 25 mile an hour speed limit on an exit ramp. So it shuts your cruise control off, but yes, it will beep and call you out if you're more than 5 miles an hour over a speed limit. So, but sometimes it's calling you out for doing 60 at a 60 because it read the minimum speed limit sign that says 40, or an exit sign that says 25. But so it gets reported, but it's an explainable situation.
Right. And I've had mine also read, minimum speed limits before also, and it might have been on like a side service road or something. It picked up that also. What other safety features do you have in your truck that you depend on?
We've got the lane departure warning where the rumble strips go off in the right or left speaker. Again, that's not a perfect situation, but it's a guideline. You try not to set those off, but every once in a while you'll come up to a seam in the roadway for blacktop, and it mistakes that for the fog light or the center line, and so it'll go off once in a while. But if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you just don't let it get to you or anything. We've got adaptive cruise control. We've got a braking system and the engine brake will come on if necessary if somebody would get too close. I always try to not set these things off. If I figure I'm not setting these things off, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. We've got an anti-rollover technology on here that sets off there. I've never triggered that, so I don't want to find out how that works. And so, but we know it's there. And let's see, we've got these things are supposedly from 65 miles an hour. This brand of truck is supposed to be able to, if there is a collision, it'll only be at a 25 or 15 miles per hour. So there may be a collision yet, but it may not be as bad. But again, the most important safety feature is who's behind the wheel, and don't get yourself in a situation like that where these things have to go to work for you.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because that's something that I teach whenever I do some, share the road programs. I teach about all the safety features on a truck and all, but I always bring it back to the most important, whether you're in a commercial vehicle or your personal vehicle, the most important safety feature in a vehicle is the driver, him or herself, because they're the one that's making those safety conscious decisions when they're out there driving. So, that's a very, very good point. Scott, let's go, and I'm going to play another video here, and then we're on the wind down here. We got 10 minutes left and then we're going to wind it down. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate
So
it.
I'll be right back with you.
Thanks, Tim.
Scuff these Jordans, you can say you hate me, you can call me crazy, but don't touch my truck. Don't touch my truck. Don't touch my wood grain dash with the matte black finishing that match my shouty with the big old butt. Know them boys soft cause I got hard feelings. You can try me if you wanna go and test your luck. Woo! Tell them boys come get me.
All right. So that's a pretty nice truck there, Peterbilt, with a low boy deck there. And anyway, love those trucks. Love those model trucks there. So
Oh, definitely.
anyway, I thought Steve was going to join us tonight, but he's texted me a little bit ago and he got caught up and he couldn't quite jump on. I was hoping he could jump on at the end here. Normally he has a rant at the end of the show, but anyway, you got anything that you want to rant about that you wish that happens out there on the highway whenever you're out there driving?
I think just maybe piggybacking on what Steven said the last time, that I think we need to sometimes go over some etiquette and be courteous to each other, whether it's don't block the fuel island at a truck stop, or don't be cutting in too sharp. A lot of people adopt an attitude that what they have to do is more important than the person ahead of them, and sometimes that ends up not being courteous behavior when you're driving. And we're supposed to be setting an example and being the knights of the highway, and that starts with kind of charity starts at home. That we start being courtesy to each other out on the road, and then be courtesy to those on the road that don't have the skills that we do, because and thankfully they do other professions, a lot of them that help our industry. And these other people that are out here too, they're our customers. We would have stuff to haul if it wasn't for four-wheelers. But it starts at home with being more courteous to each other and being more considerate of what's what.
Absolutely. And, I guess for the last 2 days, I've had quite a few trucks that pulled off of the shoulder of the road, and for whatever reason, right when I get up near them, I'm trying to move over to the middle lane, but I'm blocked out, and they just pull right out in front of me. And I just wish that, people would be a little bit more cautious, whenever they're doing stuff like that.
Yeah, it might be some of these newer drivers, kind of like when we talk about that, we do the Operation Lifesaver, that plane or in the sky or that train that's coming, they underestimate how fast you're coming up on them. I'm not making excuses, but everybody should be a lot more considerate and courteous to each other. And nobody should be doing that.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I do have one more video to play, and then we'll call it a night. I see that the viewership has dropped off some, so we're going to go ahead and wind it down some. We actually had upwards of 12 people on here tonight, and anyway, so we had a good night. Had some good comments there. So let's close the show out. Let me play this other video, and then we'll close it down. Okay.
Sounds good.
Some people like a new truck. I like an old one. Some people like new songs. I like the old ones. There's something about something aging won't. You can have the new one. I'll take the old one.
So any of those trucks, did you ever drive any of those trucks?
Oh, definitely. Sorry, a little few tears in my eyes, and just thinking about driving those trucks, and some of the people. Guy that taught me how to drive was no longer with us, and it's just it wasn't always the good old days, but it was hard work. It got us to where we are now, and I wouldn't trade it for anything else. And it's just a lot of good memories too, but it brings a few tears to your eyes and everything. Some of the memories and who was there with you when it happened.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I noticed that a lot of the people, are restoring some of the older trucks. And, they're thinking, wow, these trucks are great and cool and everything. But those trucks back then were really the equivalent of somewhat of what we're driving today. And I wonder sometime in the near future if, something like the Peterbilts like I drive today or Volvos like you drive today is going to be a relic of the future, and somebody's going to want to restore those in the future and say, wow, that's a cool truck they used to drive,
It's possible. A lot of it, I suppose, will depend on the environmental laws and what's what on that. But I know my boss is talking about getting some hydrogen over electric trucks, and they were talking about it. Everybody, they think they might be dangerous, but I guess in a crash, the hydrogen goes out of the top in a plume of water, and so that to make it safe, so there is no explosion. But we're kind of looking at they're kind of looking at if they get a hydrogen infrastructure in a hydrogen over electric truck. But yeah, I could see somebody restoring some of these and just to remember what it was like and see things out there. And there were some things about those trucks that when you didn't have any power steering, you learned to back up in the most efficient way, or else you got a lot of muscles in your arms. And there were just a lot of other things where you had to drive carefully because there wasn't all this technology to try and save you.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we are at 8:57, so I always like to close the show out at 9:00. So we are right on time. So any last words of encouragement to anybody that's watching or anybody that will watch on a replay? Because I do know that a lot of people do watch this on a replay sometimes too.
I just want to say that if you have an opportunity to go to one of these Touch a Truck events or talk to the public or show off what you do, explain why we do things in trucking and what it's about, it's always better because especially if the kids are around, the kids, you talk about some of these safety rules. It was like me when I was a kid, then you're going to be bugging your parents, hey, you can't be in that truck's blind spot or this or that, or we need to slow down, we need to move over. And so I think it's always a good thing. And so if you have any opportunity to share what we do or talk to somebody, do it. And it just makes it better for all of us and safer for all of us out here to share the road together, all drivers with other drivers.
Okay. All righty. Well, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and close the show out. I'm glad you come on tonight, Scott. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, Tim.
I think we got somebody that might be joining us here in a minute. I kind of see him. I see him signing on. Let's see what happens here. I think we might have a last minute guest here.
Do I got to make some room in the middle here? Lean over?
No, you're good.
Okay.
So I don't see his camera on there yet. Let's see. It looks like he's trying to connect, but he's not connected.
I see the little circle spinning around below us there.
Yeah. Well, he may be not even connected to the internet there.
Seems like some days it's harder and harder to do that.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, I guess we're going to call it a night. And Scott, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that joined us tonight. Anybody that's on the replay, we appreciate you joining in and listening to this on the replay. give us a comment. Even on the replay, you can comment. We'll see it. We'll try to respond to it. Until next week, hey, y'all stay safe. Y'all be careful. And remember, like I always say, look out for those who aren't looking out for themselves.
I believe in God, our Father.